Today we're going to talk about active listening. Active listening, as the name suggests, means you have to, this is on the part of the presenter, because the audience is actively listening, that's for sure. But the presenter has to listen to the audience too. So there comes this thing, active listening. So active listening means you have to pay attention, special attention. Any problems with camera? Okay, so when we talk about active listening, this is actually the act of listening to your audience when they are responding. A presenter can actually talk to the audience and get an answer in different ways, as we will see. Most of the time it is like question-answer session. Audience is actually asking questions and the presenter is trying to answer, but before that he is actually focusing more on the audience. Or it can be during the presentation. He or she is, I'm talking about the presenter, is actually following the audience, following their behavior, following their response. And that response will not always be verbal response. It can also be just non-verbal response, like nodding, or if you do not understand, you shake your head, or you are giving up, or you are like in a kind of relaxing seat, or maybe you are tired. So it's right after the lunch. The class is right after the lunch. So you might feel a bit sleepy. So all these reactions should be telling the presenter that what is the normal attitude of the audience. So listening only doesn't mean that you are listening by your ear. You are paying active attention to your audience while you are talking. You are talking at the same time you are also noticing how they are reacting. So this part is called active listening. But most of the time, what happens when the audience, any member of the audience has a question, the presenter tries to first understand what he or she is saying. Then he organizes his thoughts to respond. So this whole process, that is called the active listening. So there are certain techniques. We can do it intuitively. Intuitively, do we understand the meaning of intuitively? Right, you are doing it naturally without even thinking about it. So that can be a reaction from the presenter to the audience. Well, whatever they are doing, yes, I'm listening. But if you do it consciously and employ these techniques, then your presentation gets better and you build a better bridge to your audience. That is the advantage. So let's look at this. Focus on the audience's comprehension level. Comprehension means what? Right. Whether they are understanding it or not. So, and that is evident from your behavior. But if you want to know even better that, yes, I understand people are listening to me attentively, but if you even want to get more clear picture, then you can ask them questions or use brain teasers. Brain teasers means what? Brain teasers means something that teases your brain. Tomar brain ke khocha deয় je. That means some type of question that actually makes your brain active. Like say I see someone is falling asleep. So what I can do, I can tell him that I am giving you an example, but why don't you cite another example? So this is like a way of engaging the audience. So that is called brain teaser. Then you can go for poll. Polling means taking votes like that. I'm saying, okay, this is my position. How many of you support this? Raise your hand. And I have to assure also, that is also part of active listening, is that if you do not like my position, if you oppose my position, there is no harm. You have to make sure, because many a times people may think that, yes, if I disagree, he or she, being the presenter, may not like it. But you have to make sure at the very beginning that, yes, you have the right to disagree with me. So whatever you say doesn't have to be a positive thing or the way I think it should not be the case. So that is why we go for polls. And question and answer sessions, that is also a bit more, because you see, when you are presenting in the morning hours, people are still awake, people are alert, because they had a good night's sleep and all that, and it's right in the morning. But during the afternoon hours, like this one, like the timing of this class, what happens? Your brain gets tired after absorbing all day's work, and you had a math class right before this. So you had an overactive brain because you were trying to solve problems and trying to understand the concept. What happens? That makes you tired. So if the presenters, it's the presenter's challenge that even after your audience went through this sort of tiring situation, so you have to keep them active. You have to keep them with you, not fall asleep. So that's the challenge. And that you can do by asking these questions, polls, and I'm going to do that too, because I need people to remember what I'm saying. Okay. This is one thing. Another technique is make your words memorable for the audience's retention. Retention means? Right. So your word, the choice of your words should be like this, that this word can be remembered by your audience. Am I clear? So you can apply some rules. The first one is called rule of three. That means whenever you are talking about a certain topic,
divided into 3 parts.
Divided into 3 parts. There should not be more than 3 points. Okay. Then the rule 10, 20, and 30. That means you are supposed to have for an, although we cannot do it here, I mean like for the lectures, but when you are the best result you can get by having 10 slides, having the presentation only for 20 minutes, and having a font size 30. So that is why this is called 10, 20, 30.
First step is a slide number.
Yes, the first one is the slide number, second one is the duration, and the third one is how clearly you can show your stuff. The points, these are actually, right now it's 28 points, but the range is 28 to 32. Not more than 32, not less than 28. That will make the audience watch it better. So, and Pecha Kucha is it's a Japanese thing. It's like you are giving people some information and then you are asking them to, and you are extracting that information so that people have better memory. Like what sometimes I do.
To make them relate to my topic.
Exactly. And the third technique is actively engage and respond to questions. This is not like, well, someone asks irrelevant questions. They may ask irrelevant. I mean, while I'm talking about art of presentation, someone from the audience says, sir, talk to us about programming, or talk to us about math, which is irrelevant. But you should not be angry. You should not be annoyed. Annoyed মানে হচ্ছে বিরক্ত হওয়া. You treat that guy as like, because probably that is burning, that's a burning thing in his mind, because he has just gone through the math lessons. From the math lessons, he has a hangover. Hangover মানে কি? Hangover means some kind of effect that lasts even after the event is over. মানে ব্যাপার শেষ হয়ে গেছে কিন্তু তোমার মাথায় একটা ঘুরপাক খাচ্ছে. So from the math class you have a math problem rotating in your head and you are trying to solve it. Then you think that, oh, my teacher is also from the CSE background, so why not ask him this question? But what should be my approach? I should not be annoyed. I should be saying that, well, why don't you come after the class? Then we can discuss this. Right now, let's talk about art of presentation. So that's how you deal with the irrelevant questions. But if it's a relevant one, then it's okay. But you cannot be careless. What do I mean by careless?
That we should,
When answering the question, you should not act careless. So what should that be?
মানে স্যার ওনাকে বোঝানো যাবে না যে এটা আমি গুরুত্ব দেই না।
Right. When an audience member asks a question, that means that he or she is really wants the answer. So you have to treat him or her with respect, so that they understand that yes, the presenter is caring for you. You cannot be condescending. Condescending মানে হচ্ছে হলো নিচু করে দেয়. Looking down upon. You cannot just feel that your audience is dumb. You just can't show that, even if you are thinking inside. Listen to me, please. This is a good, an important point. You cannot really think that all these people are sitting in front of me, they don't know anything. So whatever I say, it goes. No, you're not supposed to do that. So that is the attitude of condescending. That you think that people you are talking to doesn't know a thing, they really
মানে superiority complex.
right. There should not be any superiority complex. So what's happening is that then you will be very patient with them and you try to answer the best way possible. So this is the third thing. Now, there are some phrases. Phrases meaning we can actually use these phrases to talk to the audience so that you get a clear idea. So you are confirming that you understood your. Remember, the objective here was what? What was our objective?
To make them remember the main topic.
And also to make them feel that we are listening, we are caring. So that's why you are saying that, okay, let me confirm that I understood you well. Okay? So you can use that phrase. Or you can say, can I make sure I understand you, I understand what you have said. So making it clear that whatever he or she is saying, you understood it and then you are ready to answer. This is also another trick to arrange yourself. So this is you have to remember one thing, that this part of your presentation is the most challenging part. Because when you are delivering your presentation, it is being thrown one way, but this is, when you are conversing with your audience, this is becoming two-way and this is becoming dynamic, because you have to answer right then and there. So this is a challenge. So for that challenge, you take some time and then you use these phrases. When you are saying these phrases, actually your brain is racing. That, what should I answer? What should I answer? So this is the way of kind of coming down your brain, also taking some time. No, then you should be honest that I'm sorry, I think I do not have that information. I will check it, I'll look it up once the presentation is over. Or if you know the answer, please. And another trick you can say also, well, I guess you can give us the answer too. That's what happened. I mean, in a presentation, it was being given by the Pro-Vice Chancellor of State University regarding research methodologies, right? Research methodology is, I'm on camera actually, I shouldn't be. Okay, research methodology. So I asked a question. So she actually was not sure that she knew the answer. And she said, why don't you answer it? So that is also one trick. Smart lady. Okay? So, I mean, there is nothing wrong in it. Because if you do not know the answer, you can make, if you think that the audience, the member of the audience, they know it, why don't you let them answer it?
So research methodology, research is research.
Yes. And I think we have done, I mean, not very extensively, but we have done it. How to do a research, internet and libraries, right? You guys have forgotten about that. You shouldn't have. Huh? You remember when we said trying to choose a particular topic, you have to research. And the way to research, that should be, I mean, you should know it all through your academic career. It doesn't end with this course, or it doesn't even end with the midterm. But it looks like it has ended with the midterm. It shouldn't have. It shouldn't have. Anyway, so this is also another way, summarizing, that you are actually trying to make sure that you understood the question, whoever is putting a question, you understood him or her well. So you're saying that, can I summarize what you have said? Can I summarize?
Sure.
Or even you can ask her to summarize this. I'm sorry, I got lost. While you were saying. Can you please rephrase the question? So these are ways of buying time, or while the person is repeating, you are organizing your thought inside your brain. So this is another way. But this also shows that yes, you care for, you're really trying to answer that person's question, and this is really important to you. So that's how you maintain that active listening thing. So whenever we are in the question and answer session, that that should be determined beforehand, before even delivering the speech. You come, I'll come to the class, then I will ask, okay, you guys, if you have any question, do one thing, write it down and hand it to me later, or even during the presentation, but do not interrupt. That can be one method. Another method can be like I deliver 3 or 4 slides or 5 or 6 slides and then say, okay, let's stop for a while here and let us get the idea. What did we talk about? So that is also one way. And you can also, you can give them options, like I said. When you will be taking questions, you mention that time, that probably 20 minutes into the lecture, I will take some questions. So please wait patiently. You can ask them. So this is a way of because like I said before, this is the most challenging part of your presentation. You are facing active questions. People want answers right then and there. They don't want to wait that you will go home and write some answer and send it back to them. No, they want it right now. So for that reason, it is actually creating a pressure on your mind that yes, I have to do it. So most of the time, it makes you a bit nervous, but you don't have to be nervous. If you practice it well, if you know, if you are familiar with the techniques, then you can really glide through. Glide through means? Glide মানে কি? পাখিরা যেরকম অলস ভাবে that is called glide.
অলস ভাবে নাকি যে স্ট্রেট ভাবে যে
অলস বলতে মানে বারবার not flapping their wing. They're just hovering on the air.
That's a very smooth fish.
This is called glide. Glide through. So you have to make sure that you স্বচ্ছন্দে ওড়া. I'm glad that I remembered it right away. Many a times what happens, you have that translation problem. You're speaking in English all the time, then all of a sudden you have to switch gears, like you have to go to the Bangla mood. And that's okay, this is the thing. Anyway, so this is the question and answer session. Although, we have said that, we can actually, we have to be very, very prepared. This is not an extempore thing. Extempore meaning, উপস্থিত বক্তৃতা type. So what happens? Someone asks a question and they expect an answer, and then you are supposed to give them the answer right on the spot. You just cannot delay. So that is why you have to be very, very prepared. And take a question break. Maybe I will do the same now. Let's take a question break. So far we have covered what are the things we have covered. What are the questions do you have? Just think about it. I'm summarizing it. We have covered active listening. Active listening means you are listening carefully, you're listening attentively to your audience
Delivering speech.
while you are delivering the speech. Now, if you have any question, throw them at me. Any questions? Okay, let me put some questions, then I can get some answer from you guys. Maybe some kind of brain teachers, right? So, what is the purpose of active listening? What is the objective?
Attract audience to presenter.
Attract the audience to the presenter. Yeah, okay. What else?
To understand what they are going through and to assure that I care about them, what
Very
they
good.
want to know.
Right.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah, you have covered almost all the points.
I have very
And if we want to summarize this whole active listening thing, what is this objective? Just in one word or one sentence.
to summarize. अच्छा मतलब
What is the purpose for active listening?
Create
to
concentration.
make them remember the
Uh,
to make them understand
to build a bridge between the audience and the speaker. Just in one sentence. Okay. Now we can go back here. So once you have taken the question break, then you start again your journey, and because taking a question break not only helps the presenter, it also helps the audience. In what ways?
to remember what the presenter has already covered.
And what else? To stop the flood of information that is coming at you. To stop the tsunami of information that is coming at you. The audience is like, oh, we have got enough. They become like flooded with information. So they said, okay, we want a break. So that is also working for the audience's relaxation, or maybe they feel like they're on a chokehold. Chokehold বুঝো? গলা চেপে ধরা। এত information আমি আর শ্বাস নিতে পারছি না। So you have to release that.
আমার তো ব্রেনই ফাংশন করে
I mean, I try, but not always.
No,
We cannot do it always. No, I understand your point, but yeah, you have to be very, very conscious about it. And that also is dependent on the number of people you are talking to. Maybe you have a huge audience, like 1,000 people or 300 people. It's not possible. Still, you can try, but that is not really possible. So there are many things you have to notice when you are delivering a presentation. And finally, what is there that you have to actually prepare beforehand. I mean, you are talking about a very difficult subject or a subject that your audience doesn't have a clue. Or maybe, yeah, they know a little bit, but they're not experts. So you are the expert. Oh, okay, they will not ask any question. I'm very relaxed. But one guy can spring up and ask a question, most awkward question, then you are left without any answer. That can happen. But you have to be honest. I'm sorry, I do not know the answer. But did you mean that you want the answer in this manner? Does that satisfy your answer? Does that pleases you? That, I mean, is this the right answer? You can, be very, very humble and very polite. And so you have to have a good backup plan and use this time to announce, and also other things may happen. Like you prepared a topic, but your audience is very knowledgeable. You thought you had to explain a lot. Then they just understood it right then and there. So you have some time left. Your presentation finishes early. So what are you going to do about that?
Extra information.
Right, that's what it says, that you do the housekeeping. Housekeeping means what? You arrange, organize things. Like, okay, this was our presentation, but what? It is the, sorry? No, you try to answer the question, and there is nothing wrong in trying to answer the question. Okay, there is nothing wrong. Just do not feel that, oh, I don't know the answer, so I'll be embarrassed. No.
Let the thought come out.
Right, exactly. No, what I was saying actually that you have to say, sometimes many a times I finish early. Say, oh, we have another 15 minutes left. So then I'll say, we will discuss this thing tomorrow in the next class. I want you guys to come early or be prepared for presentation and all this stuff. This is called housekeeping. You are kind of organizing. You have finished your stuff, you have delivered your presentation, now you make them a bit more active, because silent is not always golden. When you are silent, people usually do not think good about you. You're just standing there, just like a scarecrow. Do you know a scarecrow? Right. Just like that, you stand there, you do not make a movement. No, you cannot do that. Once you are up here, in front of people, you have to act. Okay. So far we are good, right? Oh, actually, I'm ahead of my time because I could come up to this towards the end of the morning's class. What time it is now?
almost 45 minutes there.
Then we can go on off, because not that many people will be presenting, I guess. Although I was expecting. Anyway, so conflict resolution. Conflict, we understand. You have different mindset. Disagreements. So this is called conflict. Resolution means solving that conflict. So it is a very natural phenomena. Situation. It's a natural phenomena that many people in the audience will not really think the way you are thinking. They will have different point of view. So what to do about that? That's what we are going to discuss. So you have to have some strategy to address that conflict. You understand that yes, this is happening, they are opposing my view, so you have to do something about that. So what do? You should identify the source of the conflict. Why are they not thinking the way I am thinking? Then you have to go to the root of the what? They probably misunderstood me, or they are maybe biased, or maybe they have personal preferences. Personal preferences meaning that someone really doesn't like that others will tell them to do something. Some people say, I know better. So who is this guy trying to tell me I have to think this in manner? So that is also, these are also what? Social noises. Remember our social noise from the second chapter? Cultural baggage. Cultural baggage is this extreme worst case scenario. Worst case scenario that it is very hard to change one's mind if they have cultural baggage. Cultural baggage, mone ache what? Okay. বলো দেখি।
ডিফারেন্ট কালচার থেকে এসে যখন এসে যে নয়েজটা সৃষ্টি হয় ওদের মাঝখানে।
What is the difference between cultural baggage and the social noise? Let her answer. Then
এটা হচ্ছে একটা সিচুয়েশন হতে পারে, আমরা হচ্ছে বাইরের দেশে একটা কালচারের মধ্যে এটা অনেক স্বাভাবিক, বাট আমার কাছে এটা স্বাভাবিক না, তো ওটা একটা কালচারাল নয়েজ তৈরি হয় তখন
that is cultural noise. But cultural baggage is the worst thing. Cultural baggage is like you really cannot change it. Someone is carrying something with him or her. Like if Trump says Muslims are bad, I mean, that's what he says. So that's a cultural baggage. Baggage meaning it's being used as a negative sense. Cultural baggage, no, you're supposed to leave your baggage outside. Once you are in a gathering of people from many backgrounds, you are supposed to leave your cultural baggage outside. Right. You cannot say that, well, I feel it this way, so I'm right. No, you cannot say that. Right. Trump, why, although he doesn't care, but why he is losing votes from the immigrants and the blacks and all other progressive people in the United States? Just because of that. Because he is, and what's really very ironical, you guys know that after being shot, he was shot, you know that, right? Fortunately, went over pierced heart. Yeah, if it was only a few centimeters to the right, he would be gone. Anyway, many people might think that is a very comforting thought, but we should not. Anyway, what he did after that, he said, America unite. How can you be united when you are spreading hatred, when you are spreading hate? Right now, he is saying he is taking the side of the white majority of the United States. Okay, but that is excluding other groups. So that is not an act of unification. What he is saying. So this sort of thing, if that's why people has to be educated. The citizenry, that the citizens should be educated. Look how people, the type of people that support Trump. Most of them are not very educated, not very sophisticated. There are sophisticated ones, but they are the evil ones, because they know that this is the way of getting attention of majority of the people. They are like almost like politicians, and because the politicians know that I have to speak the mind of the people so that I can get some support from them. But although he doesn't really mean it, Trump in I guess 1988 in a TV interview said the Republican Party is the worst kind of party in the States. You will find that YouTube video on the internet, research. But then again, he came back and he is now the boss of the Republican Party. No other Republican leaders can raise a finger against him. How strange. So that means that you are actually, he is actually catering বুঝছেন না?
স্যার এটা অনেকবার বলছেন কিন্তু স্যার এটা না
কেটার মানে হচ্ছে কাউকে খাবার দেওয়া, হ্যাঁ, খাবার সাপ্লাই করা, কেটারিং বলে না যে আমাদের
ক্যাটারিং সার্ভিসের মধ্যে
হ্যাঁ
অ্যাকচুয়াল লিভিংটা
CATER. Cater means to provide any service, anything. So he is catering for these almost ignorant American unethical part section of the society. So that is why he is gaining importance.
স্যার একটা কথা ছিল স্যার এটা স্যার স্ট্যাম্প
Maybe. Yeah. That's a good question. That also crossed my mind. What is it he is saying, that the shooting of Mr. Trump might be a stunt? Maybe, but although this is hard to pull out because the guy is dead already. Or, but they can be that type. They can be mean also. যে নিজের স্বার্থের জন্য let him die.
স্যার সে যদি এশিয়া পলিটিক্স ফলো করে তাহলে মোটামুটি এটা খুব একটা কমন ব্যাপার, যে তার মনে হয় ইন্ডিয়া, বাংলাদেশ, পাকিস্তান একটু এই জাতীয় পলিটিক্স একটু ফলো করে।
Yes, that,
এবং এটা কিন্তু খুব
that
কমন একটা ব্যাপার।
that's what it seems from the surface. That is খেয়াল করো মানে all the market economy social systems they are acting in the same manner. Some of them are very sophisticated, but most of the time they act in the same way. Look at France, Marine Le Pen. She is also acting as Trump, but fortunately she got defeated. But that would be bad for the world because France is also one of the big powers, and they provide arms and many things to the world. Different autocratic মানে স্বৈরাচারী সরকার, হ্যাঁ তাদেরকে সে এরকম আর্মস প্রোভাইড করে। So it is really dangerous that if they provide arms to someone who's they have done it many a times to the African leaders. African যে বিভিন্ন স্বৈরাচারী শাসক সবাইকে ফ্রান্স কিন্তু হেল্প করেছে।
স্যার আফ্রিকার
হ্যাঁ
পুরো খাইয়ে তো সব
exactly. Anyway, so before reacting to that conflict, when you have you can really understand that the audience is not, or the members of the audience is not really feeling the way I feel. So you have to try to understand what the point of that conflict, that's the origin of that conflict. And that will actually tell you how to respond. So you know, you identify the root cause and the perspective, and then you go for some clarifying question or paraphrase or summarize. You heard, check the accuracy of and the understanding. So you understood the conflict, then you have to respond. But the first thing is to identify the source. Then you acknowledge and validate the conflict. You just do not say that I don't care, or you are completely wrong. I don't think you got it wrong. I mean, you go into a confronting mood. Confront মানে হচ্ছে একটা মোকাবেলা, এক ধরনের মানে ঠিক আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ডিং না। You just আক্রমণাত্মক একটা মুডে চলে যাও। No, you can't do that. You do what you are supposed to do. You express empathy. Empathy means সহানুভূতি. Yes, I hear you. Yes, I understand your position, but I think yes, you are welcome to share your thoughts, but I think my position is a bit different than yours. So that's a polite way of acknowledging his right to differ with you, but at the same time, you are also maintaining your position. And yes, I think I'm right, but yes, whatever you have said, you have the right to say that.
So it is the right এটা তো কনভারসেশন করার জন্য রাইট। কারণ কি সবার থট আলাদা হয়, সবার থটই তো আলাদা হয় সেটা।
No, but when you are opposing your ideas, then it comes in handy. Focus on common goal and interest. This is called mediation. Mediation মানে কি মধ্যস্থতা করা, right? যে I cannot go on having a conflict. আমাকে resolve করতে হবে conflict, right? That is my goal. So what do? We may have different opinions, but we have a goal that both of us can be benefited from. Both of us can share that goal. So you can try to bring it to an end by not excluding that guy, but by including him with you, and kind of making a bit of a compromise. That yes, I hear you, and yes, we feel differently, but I think this will help us in the long run to gain something. So you come to a conclusion. So that is called the common goal of interest. And you can also use your stories or testimonial. Testimonial meaning that you're saying that, yes, I understand that you do not see this as a good thing, but many people before they have actually benefited from this. They have listened to me. Yes, they had a different opinion, but after considering the facts, they saw that yes, I'm right. So this is called testimonial. Testimonial আমরা স্কুলে পাই, স্কুল থেকে দেয়া হয় না, তার মানেটা কি? এটা হ্যাঁ প্রশংসাপত্র, but that means that you are being validated by the authority. যে ও আচ্ছা সে আমাদের স্টুডেন্ট ছিল, আমরা তাকে আমরা মানে সে আমাদের ইনস্টিটিউশনের মধ্যে দিয়ে গেছে, আমাদের যে ইনস্টিটিউশনাল ভ্যালু সেগুলো সেই করেছে। সো উই ক্যান ভাউচ ফর দ্যাট। ভাউচ মানে হচ্ছে আমরা তার জন্য আমরা তার জন্য দায়িত্ব নিচ্ছি। সোজা কথা, ওইরকম একটা জায়গায় এসে পৌঁছাতে, এবং ওই টেস্টিমোনিয়ালগুলো ব্যবহার করা মানেই হচ্ছে যে সাম আদার পিপল অলসো সাপোর্টেড ইউ। সো ইউ আর শোয়িং দ্যাম দ্যাট ইয়েস ইউ মাইট have a different opinion, but others also accepted my opinion, and you are doing it very politely, so that person will not go like, okay, let's beat him up. No. Anyway, so that is conflict resolution, and other options. I mean, I would say finish here on this slide. So another thing is that if you impose your views on your audience and you say that yes, you have to really take my word for it. Whatever I mean, I'm right. Yes, you have to really understand. You have to really take my word. Then that means that you are being forced into a solution. The audience is actually being forced to a solution. Avoid this. So these are like almost like a diplomatic maneuvers. Maneuver বুঝি আমরা কৌশল, মানে কোনো একটা জিনিস ব্যবহার করা। ডিপ্লোম্যাটরা যা করে, বিভিন্ন দেশের কূটনীতিকরা যা করে। So this is almost like yes, you are actually giving them some ideas. You are being flexible. Yes, I will include you. I welcome you to be a part of our solution. That sort of thing. But at the same time, you are not leaving them aside. You are not really excluding them. So that's what this says. Seek agreement and commitment. You bring them on board. On board মানে কি? একই নৌকায় আমি তাকে তুলে নিলাম। I'm not leaving him or her into the water. আমি তোমাকে আমার নৌকা উঠতে দিব না, কারণ তুমি আমার কথা চিন্তা করছো, আমার কথা শুনছো না। No, not like that. You bring them on board and then you try to make some mutual understanding by asking for their approval, and you have to make sure that yes, their approval is important for you. Yes, I may be right, but yes, if you think I'm right, that's great for me. So I am actually trying to get your consent. No, that is also true. কিভাবে করো?
আপনি যদি একটু বেশি ইজি হন তারা মানে আপনার
কাজে তুলে No, that's also true. I mean, there is always a fine line. There's always a fine line. That like a balance থাকতে হবে যে you will not give up so many things. আমি এখানে সম্মতির জন্য সবকিছু দিয়ে দিলাম যে ভাই তুমি আমার সাথে রাজি হও, that's it. আর কিছু লাগবে না, আমি you will get everything. No, you cannot do that. You have to maintain your position, but it's a fine balance. কতখানি ছাড়বা, কতখানি ছাড় দিবা, কতখানি ই করবা, that has to be thought about. এটা চিন্তা করতে হবে। So this actually a mutual understanding আসলে কি হয়? This reinforces rapport, trust and encourages action. So there will be, if মনে করো বিশেষ করে এটা আমাদের we see that in different parliaments, American Senate, Congress, what happens? The Congress persons, they are different. I mean, they are feeling differently on the Gaza issue. There are 4 people in the United States Congress. They are called the Squad. General naam sunche. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Rashida Tlaib, the Palestinian American. She was once only alone who spoke on the Congress floor criticizing Israel. Not a single one was with her. Ocasio-Cortez, তারপরে আরেকজন আছে এরকম 4 জন মহিলা কংগ্রেস ওমেন আছে যারা একসাথে কাজ করে মানে একই বাট তার মধ্যে সেও একা হয়ে গিয়েছিল রাশিদা তালিব বাট she kept on going. She said this is wrong, you are supporting Israel and that is committing a genocide. So this way I mean she was not really that successful in bringing everyone on board. সবাইকে নিয়ে আসতে পারেনি কিন্তু some of the people they spoke up against Biden. That, yes, Biden is not doing the right thing. So yeah, it's a challenging task, very challenging. But if you practice hard, if you fortunately you guys don't have to be in a political situation very soon. Maybe you can grow up to be like Mashrafi, and then you become or you become a parliament member. Yeah, but these guys actually, this is only possible in Bangladesh. I mean, or maybe some other areas. India also in Ukraine. Zelensky was a comedian. Some Eric Estrada, he was an actor in Philippines. So that happens, but this is not a common phenomenon. Does not always happen. Anyway, so we'll stop here. And so for the conflict resolution, what is the ultimate aim?
So identify the root cause of the disagreement.
Conflict resolution এর ultimate লক্ষ্যটা কি?
Sir, identify the root cause.
No, that is the first step. Conflict resolution means you have to take your audience with you, no matter what. They may be thinking very differently than yours, but at the end of the day, meaning at the end of the presentation, you are supposed to take them along with you. You have to make them agree with you. So that is the ultimate aim of conflict resolution. But there are different techniques to do that. First, you identify the root cause, then you try to mitigate that. Mitigate মানে হচ্ছে কমিয়ে নিয়ে আসা. Then you bring them to your agreement. So that's how you do it. So that was our lesson for today. And now we'll go for the presentation. Okay.
Pause করে দিব।